welcome back to Say Mojo Homestead. I'm so glad you're here with me today in the garden. I'm feeling better. I'm glad to be back out working. Today I have Selah with me because Selah has some sunflowers she's going to plant. Sunflower Steve had recommended some particular flowers for her for an event she's doing. And we've had some problems in your garden, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Deer.
Yes. The deer, we've never had a problem with deer here on our property yet. This is the first time, and it had to be in Selah's garden, which was so sad. So she lost the tops of several of her sunflowers. We're hoping they'll grow back and they'll grow a new stalk and they'll be fine. That has happened to us in the past. But these sunflowers we bought for a very specific event for her cut flower business, and we don't want to risk them being eaten. So we are putting them directly in our garden. If you can see behind Selah, you can see some sunflowers that I've already planted there. We actually like to have sunflowers in the garden because it brings in birds, which then kill all the bad bugs. Like, we have seen a few tomato hornworms, but for the most part, the birds do a great job of handling those for us. So we'll be planting her sunflowers, and we will actually be planting the rest of our garden. I know it's June, so some might consider that a little late for planting a garden. I was just reading an article on Thomas Jefferson and how he was a scientist in the garden, and it encouraged me because that's something I've been really interested in doing, is just seeing how things can grow in different types of environments and in different times of the year. And so I'm not really worried. It kind of just worked out this way because of our schedule and everything going on, that we ended up succession planting our entire garden, which means we planted a little bit, then planted a little bit, and then planted a little bit more. And that was not pre-planned, but it has worked out really well, and it gives us the opportunity to learn more about growing food. So today we are going to finish planting our zucchini and squash. Selah doesn't have to help with all of this. She's just doing the flowers. We're gonna finish planting our beans. We're gonna put in some melons, and we're gonna check our cucumbers. I might add a few plants to that, depending on how the plants are doing that I planted before, and we may plant a couple more okra. One thing, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a reel I posted about my ADD gardening debacle. So behind Selah is this wonderful, come over here, love, is this wonderful row of sunflowers. And this morning I was just doing my quiet time, and I thought I'd come and check out how the sunflowers are doing and the beans that I planted underneath it. And then I discovered that I actually planted squash in the beans, which is not an issue. Beans fix nitrogen, and I actually had already planned to companion plant my beans because we are limited on space, and I want a lot of beans because that is a great staple for my pantry.
What is that?
Okay.
It has weird little things. Gross. Beneficial.
That's a parasitic wasp. It's not gonna hurt you. Okay, we just had a parasitic wasp fly around us.
It's carrying something.
It's carrying a dead bug. Super. They're beneficial. You want them in your garden. They kill other bugs, but Selah doesn't want it flying around her. So anyway, we're gonna let it do its thing. It is right where we're planting. Hopefully by the time we start planting, it'll be gone. But anyway, I can plant beans with melons, cucumbers, squash, everything I'm planting today. Beans can be a companion plant because it fixes the nitrogen in the soil. To help maximize our space, I was already planning on planting all of our beans with our squash and cucumbers and all that. The other thing I discovered today, though, I forgot about these squash plants. I totally forgot I planted them. Well, I haven't been checking them for squash bugs or for vine borers. There is no squash borer activity on these squash. So I love companion planting. Our bean plants are very heavy in leaves at the base. Because they have so many leaves at the base of them, they actually kind of shielded and protected and disguised my growing squash plants. They look awesome. I'm super excited, but I'm also really motivated to do multiple plants in each hole and just make it an opportunity to do companion planting on a smaller scale. So I'm really excited about today's planting and the plans that we have for our garden, and just learning and being a student of the garden and a student of plants and food. So let's go ahead and get started. Do you want to start with your sunflowers so you can get out of the heat? Okay, Selah. So when we got invited to do bouquets for an event, a local event, we contacted Sunflower Steve. Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm connected us with Sunflower Steve, and so we got some help from him. So what did he recommend you plant, Selah?
White light sunflowers.
And where'd they come from?
They came from Johnny's Selected Seeds.
Yep. So Selah is going to plant 2 sunflowers in each of these holes, and then we'll do a melon inside of them. Watch your plant depth, remember, or your seed depth. I want to do double the length of the sunflower seed. We did leave the kale that's flowering. We have some pods on some of these kale plants, and I want to seed save. Okay guys, we got all of the kale ripped out, and we have Selah's sunflowers all planted. Sorry I had to turn off the camera. It is getting so hot here in South Carolina, and it's literally only 11 o'clock, and I'm like frying. So I need to go ahead and just plant this garden quickly and get out of the sun and out of the heat, and make sure my animals have a lot of fresh, cool water. So thank you guys for hanging out with us while we finished our garden, and I hope that you guys are inspired to still plant something. If you haven't planted something yet, know that it's not too late. You can go ahead and see what you can grow in the middle of June. I hope you guys have a great week and be blessed.